The practice of sourcing your feelings is not going to be something that comes from one day to another. It's not gonna be something that you're gonna learn. It's not gonna be like a one thing that you get, and then you're all of a sudden gonna get how you're gonna source your feelings. So this is gonna be a space of practice that is gonna need your commitment for at least 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it takes. It's a process of continuing to cultivate a skill, cultivate a practice that you're gonna keep with you, and it's gonna start yielding new results in your life in terms of how you relate with yourself and your feelings. Most of the population of the world, they are relating to their feelings in an unconscious way. Essentially, we're going on in an automatic mode based on the decisions and agreements that you made when you were a child, when you didn't have the distinction, the matrix, the inner structure, or the support structure to give you guidance about what your feelings were and how to use your feelings. So you went like right into being born into this world full of lights, full of like loud sounds, and right away you started creating mechanisms to tune down your feelings and the sensations, because it was so intense coming out into this world, and let alone going into your parents' house and having to adapt to your parents' expectations of you and the society's expectations of your parents, and how your parents projected that onto you and enforce that on you with punishment or loud voices, screaming, shouting, and controlling in these ways. Then you went to school, and the process of going to school and going to this space where you have to sit on a chair for hours ongoing, and all of these different processes that are become like these painful processes that essentially put your being, which is a while in tune with life, this chaotic, full of life, being into this packaged up thing that has to fit into this world and into this society, into this cultural context of the mainstream cultural context. So because of all of these events, we've all created mechanisms inside of us to package up your feelings, to repress your feelings, to keep them small. And this has created a conditioning and mechanic conditioning and unconscious conditioning with your feelings, where we are numb to our feelings. We essentially don't know how we're feeling until the feelings are really so high intensity that there is no way for us to block those feelings. So the first thing that we're going to be exploring in the sourcing your feelings is the numbness bar. And the numbness bar is the first one of the first mechanisms that you created to survive in this world. And if your numbness bar is as high as 70%, if your numbness bar is at 70%, anything below 70% intensity of your feelings, you're not going to be able to feel. So it's not until you feel 70% anger that your anger actually comes out, that you're actually able to feel your anger. And same way with the other feelings. So the numbness bar is going to be the first mechanism that we're going to go into to lower that capacity to feel, because you created that mechanism, that tool. It is a tool. There is nothing wrong with a numbness bar, with having a numbness bar, and we all needed this numbness bar to be able to continue living in this world, to continue surviving in this world. And what changes now is that you have consciousness, you have awareness that you have a numbness bar, and you have awareness of what it creates in your intimate relationships and what it creates in the world that you're wanting to create. And as an adult, you gain the capacity to work more consciously with your numbness bar. So yeah, I want to make this video and really to prepare you that sourcing your feelings is not going to happen from one day to another. It's essentially like as a kid you get these toys and you get used to playing with toys, or even when you're learning words. When you're learning words as a kid, you start playing with the words and copying others and copying what how other people say words. and and then if you don't get the distinctions that the words and the words that you say have a consequence, have a reaction, or have a resonance in the world, that it creates a change in the world, then you keep playing on through the rest of your life with the words as you play as a child. So part of the process of learning to feel again, or learning to source your feelings, is becoming aware that you have been playing with your feelings all this time. And this is not an easy recognition, because your child part of yourself is going to freak out, is going to want to keep doing things the same way and say like, I'm an eternal child. I just want to keep playing. I just want to um, keep doing it, the things that I already know how to do. And and this is gonna keep blocking you from owning your emotions and your feelings, from taking responsibility from your feelings. So it's gonna be this process of uh, letting go of what was, of how you have been doing things so far, by being, not by forcing the letting go, because you can, because that's essentially your who you are and what you are. And it's this process of creating more space for continuing the play, because playing is how you learn. Playing is like the most natural and fun way to learn, and at the same time creating a capacity to play differently, to create a different kind of game, to start discovering what is the game that you want to play, and how you can be an adult as you play in a new way with your feelings. And part of the process that we're going to be going through in sourcing your feelings is learning what kind of game you are playing. We're going to look at this more in like the other parts of the triangle, but learning what are you doing with your feelings, what game are you playing with your feelings, and what games you could be playing. And this is very exciting once you get to see the games that are possible and the games that you could be playing with your feelings. And this is like what creates an extra doorway of uh, aliveness and possibility inside of how you could be relating with your feelings, how you could what you could be using your feelings for. So hang on to your buckles, hang on for the ride. This is going to be an initiation and a beginning space for lowering your numbness bar to start gaining the capacity to feel more. And the second step, we're going to be mapping out your feelings, and which is like working with the four feelings: anger, sadness, fear, and joy, which is going to give you this territory to explore into and to call to find to retune your feelings scanner, and to start identifying what do I feel like when I'm angry, what do I feel like when I'm feeling sad or scared, and starting to see this and starting to use your scanner to scan others. And the last one is going to be getting into first position, which is going to be this process, meditative process, to uh, uh, get your attention and get your energy back into your physical body, and realign your bodies so that you can actually take responsibility for your feelings and take ownership for them, where you can actually take responsibility for your feelings and emotions. So hang on for the ride. This is an introduction to sourcing your feelings, and I'll see you in the next video.